This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Can we go back? This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. وبعد ثواني فضل في مكانه محلك سر الشجعر بصت له بصه ما بعدها بصه لقيته قطه قال لها لا انا وحش الشقه بلاها بنور وطفي النور انا داخل انام مش ههد الدور. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
मैं लव करदा बेमतलब करदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए बाकी तब सी है अदा साढ़े ते हो जानी फिदा बाहों में आ सोनिए बस आज रात के लिए तू हॉट लगदी लखां दा नोट लगदी मौका मिला है अभी होगा ना फिर ये कभी सानू तू टच कर ले मौका तू मज कर ले.
Sorry to cut the vibe, guys, but it's time to start. Welcome everyone to day 4 of VICO. We are almost an hour and this is so sad. But here I am again, and you see I have my shirt matching with the color of the day because I am happy. So cool. Let's start our morning, and I have something to share with you again that you will have the pleasure to count on me again for this opening. So yes, I will be the chair of the day again. And today the opening is also quite special because for the ones that don't have the opportunity didn't have the opportunity to get to know more about my history or to get to know more about me and how I end up doing all of the things that I do right now inside of Isaac. This opening is for us to discuss this leadership versus connection. And I will share with you all of my history and how I literally end up working in Isaac for more than 6 years and returning as an ICB chair. So I really hope that you enjoy the content of the day. I also have some questions of interaction. So let me just open the chat so I can see you here. Yay. So we are good to go. Okay, so for us to start, I have a very important question that I would like you to type in the chat. When was the first time that you ever heard about leadership? And then I will give you around 1 minute to type. When was the first time that you ever heard about leadership? Was it in Isaac? Was not in Isaac? It was in a year? It was not in a year? It was when? So we have 2017, we have 2007. Interesting. We have 2019. Very, very interesting. 2015, induction camp of Isaac in the kindergarten when you were supposed to be a leader of the group. Good. In 2017, before Isaac, interesting. As I said, I will share with you a bit of my story. And for me, the first time that I ever heard the word leadership or the concept of leadership was not in Isaac, and it was in my high school because I come from a very traditional Catholic school. And inside of this school, we had some groups, and these groups used to do some kind of missions to the most needed ones. And we used to go there and I don't know, explain some things about life and discuss about opportunities and so on. And that was the first time that I ever heard about leadership because this school and this specific group it started to show me that leadership is not only leading a group of people like in schools of a school project, but leadership is way more than that. And that's when I actually understood that that was the first time that I heard about leadership. But then I want you to think now, who was the first example of leadership for you? And I want you to type names on the chat, names of people, of the specific person that was the first example of leadership for you. Give me some names. Or I don't know, bros, for example. Oh, he was my brother. He was my sister. He was my grandmother. Your teacher, yes, teacher are can be considered leaders for a lot of people. Your cousin, family, interesting. Your first team leader, cool. So we have different aspects here. We have someone outside the family, for example, as a teacher. We have someone inside Isaac. We have people from the family. The president of the country, your team leader, interesting. So the first example of leadership for you, you can see that we have very different opinions here in the room. For me, it was my father. In my specific case, when I understood what leadership was, I started to look around and understand who are the people around me and who could be examples of leaders that I would admire and I could even think about on how to follow those paths. And my biggest example when I understood the concept of leadership was my father And this is my year, so 1996, and that was actually when I met him. Cool. So, going back with my history, as I told you, my history related to leadership. The first time that I ever heard about leadership was not in Isaac, was in a group that I told you that we do. We used to do some missions for the most needed ones, and we did have something similar to Isaac, but it was not with international ones. It was kind of an exchange and communities and connections with people inside Brazil. So this, for example, it was kind of a conference that I had the opportunity to participate, and there were people from all over Brazil there, and we were discussing what we can do to help more the needed ones and to spread our word and blah blah blah. All of these things that we do in Isaac, but more related to leadership. There we were talking about how we can be more impactful in terms of the needed ones. And then this is another picture for this group. This one was a conference that I had the opportunity to be part of. This one was inside of my own high school team. You can see that I was very young in here, and I am this person, and I am this person. I was not reddish at the time, so this is my original hair color. And this was my first international event that was even after, before Isaac. That was an event that happened in Brazil, but it kind of reunited everyone from all over the world. I don't know how we call that in English, but I think it was the Youth Day or Youth Week, something like this. And we even have the Pope in Brazil at this moment. This picture was taken in Rio de Janeiro. And we were the delegation of Brazilians meeting the delegations of Denmark at this picture. So that was super cool, and that was actually my first experience meeting people from different countries and seeing, this is interesting. I like talking to people from different cultures. I like talking to people and getting to know different situations and different realities from what I have. Cool. So high school was over, and that was my experience in groups and leadership experience in high school. So I joined the university, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because I'm not the kind of person that likes to sit in a classroom and just listen to the teacher and do my homework and that's it. I will get my diploma. I'm not this kind of person. So I really wanted to get extra things on my career, extra things on my routine. And that's when I found on my second group, that was my second example of people together talking about leadership. But again, it was not focused on international aspects. So these people, these groups, they were related to the junior company and enterprise junior company. And it was a program inside of my university that is quite huge. And I know that there are some countries that also have this program, that they bring together some students and they create a junior company inside of the university to actually do the first experience in the market. So we did have real clients. We sold our projects and we executed the projects, and we did all of this. So this was one of my teams for the junior company, and this was one of the biggest events that I had the opportunity to join. There was a national event for all of the junior companies in Brazil. So this was my second example of groups of leadership that I was part of. But then I spent 1 year on this group being part of the university, and I decided that I wanted to go for an internship. And I was who I went for when I decided to take this decision. It's the time for me to go for the real market for an internship, or it's the time for me to still think about my development, for experiences still in groups and learn more about leadership. The best person to answer me that was my father as my example of leadership. And actually, my father was the first person ever who talked about Isaac for me. And he was like and said, "Hello, Karina, search for something like Isaac. I don't know how to say it. And it's inside of your university. Go there and try to find their office and learn what they do, because maybe it's something interesting for you that you're going to like it. Because I know you, I'm your father." And I was like, if my biggest example of leadership is asking me and it's advising me to look for this, I will give it a try. And that's how I met Isaac. and I come from a very special LC that is Isaac in Vitória, Brazil. And I had an amazing experience as being part of Isaac in Vitória. I was deeply connected with this LC for 2 years. The first year, you will see in my career, so what I did in my first year, what I did in my second year, but I've been in Isaac for 6 years. So more than half of my experience was not in my LC. It was literally the career plan that I decided to go for the organization. But I, yes, indeed, I joined Isaac in Vitória, and that was my first experience with Isaac that I will never ever forget. And if you can see, this was one of our sessions in one of the local committees. The committee is huge. We have more than 100 members in the committee. And this person here in the middle is Charles, the one that was giving the keynote for you yesterday. He was the LCP when I joined this LC. Cool. So Isaac was the first group that I felt a real connection. I really enjoyed the first groups during my high school. I also enjoyed the junior company, but a real connection happened in Isaac. And why? Because I got to know what ambition is, what purpose is. I connected my values with the values of the organization. I found people that had common dreams as I did. I felt super challenged, and I found a very crazy environment that was challenging me a lot. And at the same time, I had a very huge space to grow. And one thing that I really like it about Isaac is that I could have mistakes and I could learn from my mistakes. And those mistakes were making me to grow. And that was something that really pushed me to continue in the organization. So this is my career in Isaac. This is everything that I did. I joined it in 2015 as ICX GIP. So today we would call it IGTA or IGTE. And as to still 2015, I did my GCP that would today nowadays would be a GV. And I went to India. I did my GV in Bangalore. That was another crazy experience. And at the same time, I got elected for a national corporative sales team for the ICX GIP. And that was the first time that we ever talked about GE in Brazil. And we really wanted to establish the GE in Brazil. So that was an amazing experience too. And that was the first time that I actually had the opportunity to work with people that were not from Isaac in Vitória, that were from Isaac in Brazil as a whole. Then in 2016, I got elected for LCVP OGX So nowadays it would be OGT, OGTA, OGTE. And I never applied for this area. That was actually my last priority. They asked me to make a list of priorities of the roles I would like to get. And I wanted to go for ICX GTA DTE. My last one was OGX GTA DTE. But then my LCP told me, this area is fucked up in here. And we have a huge opportunity to deliver good things for this area in this LC. And I need you with the profile that you have, with the skills that you have to lead this area and change the complete format of it. And then I decided to embrace the challenge. And I even got elected for EST nowadays, or NST, IROGXT for Isaac in Brazil. And then on my second term, I was the NST consultant OGXJP GTA team leader. So I was leading a group of consultants that were helping all of the OGTA GTE network in Isaac in Brazil. But then I decided to apply for LCP and I didn't got elected. And I was like, I cannot leave Isaac right now. I still want to leave more about the organization. I want to learn more and I want to give more because I really enjoyed my first 2 years. And in 2017, I applied to be part of the ECB Brazil. And I got elected as an auditor team member. And that's where I spent 1 whole year. So I spent one year and a half, actually. I spent 1 year and a half being auditor in Isaac in Brazil until I get elected for, yeah, I think this is correct. Yeah, the dates are correct. So I got elected for ECB chair for Isaac in Brazil. And at the time, the ECB chair in Brazil was for 6 months. So I had the opportunity to be chair for Isaac in Brazil for 6 months. And that was another crazy experience because I always hated to deal with EPs. I don't like to deal with cases. And I think that my team knows I panic every time that I have to solve a case with NEP because I feel super connected with the issue. And I was like, how come I will deal with that? But anyway, this experience helped me a lot to develop my emotional intelligence. And here I am right now. So I applied for ICB right after, and this person here was the current chair. That Tanili was MC in Brazil when I was a CB chair. Then she went to MC in Mexico, and then she applied for ICB chair. And when she got elected, she was like, Karina, I don't know what to do. I need people with ICB experience in my team. So please apply. And then I applied to be part of her team. I got elected for TL board development. And then I decided to apply for ICB chair because I really liked the idea of the term and the idea of the board itself. And that's where I got elected. And I had this amazing team here with me, with Lilo, with Molto, and with Mika, that was part of the ICB team on the previous term. And right now, this is my second term as being ICB chair with this also amazing team where you're getting to know in this conference as Lilo, as Raulito, and as Cello. So this is a brief of my experience in Isaac. I just wanted to share this with you. And if you have any questions or if you would like to get to know more about anything about my experience, you feel free to reach me. I am a reachable person. And I hope that this experience gives you some hints of what you can do on your Isaac career. Because sometimes we get stuck with one specific career. For example, I am an LCP, then I will go for I am an LCVP, and then I will go for LCP, and I will go for MC, and an MC I'm going for an MC abroad, and then I'm gonna go for Isaac International. But you have many other opportunities inside Isaac that you can take advantage of. And ECB and ICB is one of them. But cool, it's still of real connections. And let's go back to the point of leadership. When I think about examples of leadership inside Isaac, these four people come to my mind. The first one was the MC of IGTE when I started in the organization. So I was part of Larissa's network. And she was one of the people that taught me a lot, even not knowing that she was teaching me things. Because I got her as a very good example of inspiration of how I would like to be talking to people, of how I would like to be in terms of organization, of results achievement. Then you have my LCP, Lorenza. She was the one that believed me. She was the one pushing me and doing all of her coaching skills with me. That I was a person allocated for an area that I didn't like to. So I cried a lot and I was like, I'm not going to be able to deliver that. And in the end, we finalized the year with the biggest achievement of that area for all of the history that we had. So this was something very cool. And the strength that this person showed me was really, really good. And I'm going to take that for my whole life. Georgia was also an MC. And when I was VP, this person also supported me a lot, because she believed me, and I had never worked before with OGT, and she was like, no, I believe you can do that. She even trusted me to be part of her NST team. So I'm really, really proud of Georgia, and I'm really happy to have her as one of my examples of leadership. And the last one was Tanili, my first ICB chair, the person who trusted me to be part of ICB, and the person who actually invited me to be part of the ICB, because I never felt that I would be capable to be part of ICB. And because of her, I am here. Because of her, I joined the board and I got my ICB chair experience. And here I am returning as ICB chair. Cool. So this is my story. And this is the message that I would like to bring to you all. But I would like to finish this opening with this question. When you think about leadership in Isaac, who comes to your mind? And a lot of people come to my mind, and I just shared with you 4 of them. But my advice for you all is, we are also talking about connections, and connections is something really important. So it's very easy for you to get a connection while you are in Isaac, but it's not that easy to keep this connection when people are already outside of the organization. But if you have those people as your examples of leadership, if you have those people as people that inspired you somehow, why not keeping these connections even later on? And that's my kindly request for you. If you can take a time during your day to talk to this person that came to your mind when I asked you, who is your example of leadership in Isaac, that would be amazing, because this is the first step for you to keep a connection, talking to people and recognizing them and sharing how exactly you feel about these people. So if you can take a time during your day to send a message, hey, I was in an opening and it reminded me of you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the thing that you thought me, or thank you so much for this. You're the person that I want to keep talking to. This is something extremely powerful and important for you to keep your connections. So this was the message of the day. I hope that you like it. And we are about to go with some OC alignments. Is there anyone here that would like to share about this OC alignments? Ah, Raed, So, or someone from the OC?
Yes, Candelaria. How do I pronounce it? Candelaria. It's okay. I will start with the first four ones, and then Richard will read the rest. So, good morning, everyone. First thing, you need to rename yourself as name, row, entity, like we said yesterday. Please do it now. Like as I read. Then you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's ICB International Control Board. We're gonna use it, and please send it to everyone that you know, and so that they can watch all the sessions that we have. Read the daily delegate mailers that we send for you. We always send them, like yesterday we sent them earlier based on your request. Join the delegates Telegram group and the fun group, but at your own risk, because we're gonna over spam you, but it's a lot of fun. And then yeah, go Richard.
All right, so we are almost at the end of the conference, and we want to see that you finish the buddy challenge. So please make sure that you contact your buddy if you haven't done that already, and start with a buddy challenge. Start to connect with your buddies, because that is one of the main things that we need to do here in the conference. Also, I would also encourage you guys to turn on your Instagram profile, turn it to public, so that we can share all the content that you're sharing in your stories. And repost everything as well. And the final thing I'd like to talk about is the gala night. I'm very excited about this, and I hope you're all excited too. What I want to say specifically with respect to this is make sure you start thinking about what to wear tomorrow, because it's not going to be, it's not going to be a normal gala night. It's going to be really special. And trust me, you would want to dress your best for this particular night. What I would also like for you guys to know is we'll be having a special red carpet event on our Instagram stories. So during the gala night, take your best pictures and share it on your stories, and then tag us as ICB, and we'll repost everything as well. And we are looking forward to see which ECBs are going to be awarded tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss that. And there are going to be a lot of fun activities to happen tomorrow. So I hope that you are all going to be there tomorrow. Be there in your numbers, come with your teams, with everyone, and show your support to all your ECB teams as well. So that's it from me.
Thank you so much, guys. So OC alignment's done. So let's go for one part that is really, really special for today, getting to know more about the agenda. So hi, are you between us?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Depends on your time zones, of course. How are you doing? Actually, yes, we still have today and one more day to go. VICO is about to finish, right? That's super sad because, how can we say, good days never last. So yeah, enjoy your conference, enjoy today's agenda, because today, as Ka says, it's a really, really exceptional agenda because it has a lot of good things, a lot of beneficial things for you. But first, before starting talking about the agenda, I would like to appreciate your feedback, because we're taking into consideration every single feedback that is coming from you. And one of the feedbacks that comes into us, which is the email, the everyday or the daily email that's coming from me. You would like to make it earlier. So yesterday it was early, so that's why I was checking you on Telegram group whether you received it or not. Also, you would like to have some more breaks. And yes, we have some more breaks today. Well, first things, I need to share with you the feedback form because we still need your feedback for motivation to make it better conference, because even it's still we have one more day to go, but still we want to make it the best experience for you. Moving to the agenda, we have first thing keynote with Lilo about the COVID-19 protocol. Then we're gonna have some harassment protocol and processes with our dear ICB chair Karina. Then we're gonna have a break with 30 minutes. Then we're gonna move to the CS agenda, which is the CS system and processes. Then we're gonna have a track. Those tracks are divided between the beginner's manual, unlocking the full potential of customer support, the beginner's manual, and unlocking the full potential of customer support, the frequent manual. So you're probably asking who's going to be in the first track or who's going to be in the second track. I already sent you the link yesterday in the email to check your entity in which track you're going to belong. But this is the link for this sessions. So just go there and check your entities if it is in the first track or in the second track. After we're finished with the CS, we're going to have another break. I know, because we like breaks for another 30 minutes. Then we're gonna have some GCP space, which is about the ECB cases management. It's gonna be a surprise. So just stay there because you're gonna be amazed with that GCP. Then we're gonna finish, of course, by our closing like usual, and we're gonna have our fun team. So yeah, this is for our agenda for today. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. So, okay, so it's time to start. And is Lilo in the room?
Yes.